Greetings, 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 greetings. How's everybody doing? Bonsoir, buenas noches, saubona, boa noite. How everybody's doing, guys? Hope you guys are doing well, man. And your families are safe. Okay? It's imperative that you take all necessary precaution in maintaining good physical, mental, emotional, psychological, and spiritual health. All right? Hope you guys are keeping up with all the healthy habits. All right? It is imperative that you do that to survive and to live well. So, as always, you take all necessary precaution. I need to lower this down. Greetings, Lee. How are you, Ms. Vidal? Awesome. So, tonight's discussion, we're going to talk about cholesterol. All right? Tonight is part one. Cholesterol. How it helps us and how it destroys us. How it can potentially destroy us. All right? So tonight is part one. Then we'll move along to part two and part three. And so as always, I'm doing greatly. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. As always, I have to tell you my disclaimer that I am not a doctor or a medical professional. I'm an herbalist, holistic health educator, and a researcher. That's what I do. That's my work. I do not prescribe medicine, nor do I give medical advice. Okay? So my work is for educational and informational purposes only. That's it. All right? All right, so we're talking about cholesterol. We're going to talk about the good things about cholesterol and the not so good things about cholesterol. So what is it? What is cholesterol? Right? It is kind of waxy. It's a fat-like substance that's found in all the cells in your body, every single cell in your body. All right, so your body needs cholesterol to make hormones, vitamin D, and substances that help you digest foods. All right, very important. So when we talk about cells, all right, we are saying that they are basic fundamental, they are the basic fundamental unit of life. That's what cells are, right? So if we were to break apart an organism to the cellular level, the smallest independent component that we would find would be the cell. All right, so just kind of picture that in your mind for a moment, because cholesterol is found in all the cells in your body. If you have too much cholesterol in your blood, it can combine with other substances in the blood to form plaque. Okay, and plaque sticks to the walls of your arteries, right? Those, you know what an artery is, right? Those big veins that carry blood around your body. Okay, so the buildup of plaque is what we call atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis, right? When there is plaque buildup in the arteries. Okay, and it could lead to coronary artery disease, where your coronary arteries become narrow or even blocked. All right. What's up, Judith? Good evening. Big Mo, what's going on, brother? So what is coronary artery disease? It is a condition where the major blood vessels supplying the heart are narrowed or restricted. Okay, and the reduced blood flow can cause your chest to be very painful, and there could be shortness of breath as well. All right, so the plaque that is the cause of atherosclerosis consists of cholesterol, calcium, fat, and other substances, and it can harden over time. Okay, so let's take a look at the different types of cholesterol. All right. Yes, I respect, big more respect every time. Okay, so we have to deal with HDL, LDL, and VLDL, and they are what we call lipoproteins. Okay, so they are a combination of fat and protein, or lipid. Fat is lipid, right? So the lipids need to be attached to the proteins so they can move through the blood. Okay? So different types of lipoproteins have different purposes. And let's look at HDL first. Right? HDL is high density lipoprotein. And it is called a lot of times the good cholesterol. That's the good cholesterol because it carries cholesterol from other parts of your body back to your liver. It carries back to the liver where the process starts. Right? It starts in your liver. The liver produces all the cholesterol you need, plus cholesterol from the foods that we ingest. All right? Because your body makes all the cholesterol it needs. It really does. Okay? Then your liver removes the cholesterol from your body. It does this by converting the cholesterol to bile. It converts the cholesterol to bile salts and transferring the compounds into bile, where they are ultimately expelled from the body. All right? It transfers it to bile and then it's expelled. So, hey Judith, Francis, what's going on? I'm really glad you guys could join me tonight, okay? Very important topic, cholesterol, because there have been a lot of misconceptions about cholesterol, you know? Cholesterol is good and cholesterol is bad, so it depends on what side of the spectrum you are, right? It depends on what side you are. So, one of the main things to do to lower your cholesterol if it's high, or to maintain, you know, good cholesterol, is to flush your liver. And we're going to get into that. It's to flush your liver. And I do a liver cleanse 3 to 4 times every year for an entire week. Okay, I don't cook. I don't eat any hard foods. I do liquids. And I clean my liver for a whole week. And I flush my system out. And then I rebound and I come again. That keeps me going. It keeps me energized. It keeps my liver healthy. Because when your liver is happy, the rest of your organs are happy. All right, so I clean my liver, okay, using my liver cleanse. Okay, my liver cleanse is strictly roots and barks and seeds. Here, it's my liver cleanse. That's what I use. Okay, So in my liver, I have a 1 week program on there, and also I have a 3 week program. Okay. That's for my liver. So when you flush your liver, or you cleanse your liver, or you detox your liver with my 1 or 3 week program, and also your gallbladder, when you clean or you detox your liver and your gallbladder, bile should be released more proficiently and your cholesterol will lower. All right, and cholesterol will leave the body through the bile ducts. Bile must bind to soluble fiber to exit. It has to bind to something to exit. So to lower your cholesterol, you should make sure that your bile ducts are clean. Okay, and fresh orange juice, as an example, have soluble fiber. All right. Okay, so what are some herbs we could use to clean or to detox your bile ducts? Purslane, all right, mint, cilantro, ginger. Ginger is a universal herb or root. Dandelion greens, celery, parsley, cucumbers, milk thistle, which is also an ingredient in my liver cleanse. Okay, milk thistle and ginger and dandelion are part of my liver cleanse. All right, so you keep your liver detox, you keep your bile duct detox, and your cholesterol level will fall right in place, providing okay, providing that you maintain good eating habits. You got to keep up with your eating habits. You can't do it 1 time a week and expect to get results. You won't get good results. Okay? So milk thistle extract increases bile flow while it lowers the concentration of cholesterol. Scientists found that purslane herb reverse the adverse effects of bile duct ligation that leads to oxidative stress and liver damage. However, they noted that the effects were more preventative than curative. It will prevent it, all right? That's what they found. It would prevent it more than curing it. So what is bile? What is bile? Let's take a look at that. Masha, how are you? Fatima, Glenroy, how's everybody doing, man? I hope you guys are safe and your families are well, okay? So bile juice is a digestive fluid produced by the liver. Here we go again, the liver. My favorite eliminatory organ, man, is my liver. I don't play by my liver. 3 to 4 times a year, that bad boy gets detoxed. No ifs, buts, or maybe. It happens. Okay? So bile is stored and concentrated in the gallbladder. And its main function is to convert fats in food into fatty acids, which are absorbed in the gut. So when digesting fats, bile acts as an emulsifier to break the large fat globules into smaller emulsion droplets. Emulsified fats provide a larger area for the fat digesting enzymes to act, making the process quicker Okay, so bile acts as a good solvent. Due to its property, it serves as a good medium for the interaction of fats and fat splitting enzymes. Bile is essential for the absorption of fat, iron, calcium, and vitamins. Okay, so bile salts help in the absorption of lipid-soluble vitamins, which are vitamin A, and those are fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K, and the provitamin beta-carotene. Okay, so those are fat-soluble vitamins, and bile is an essential element or part of the absorption of fat, iron, calcium, and vitamins. All right, so some metals like copper, zinc, mercury are excreted through bile. So when you do a metal flush, right, it is excreted through bile. And bile plays an important role in the removal of toxin from your body. All right. So bile also serves as the route of excretion for bilirubin. Bilirubin, it is a byproduct of red blood cell breakdown. Bile also carries excess cholesterol out of the body and dumps it into the gastrointestinal tract, where it can be passed out through feces. All right, let's look at LDL. It stands for low density lipoprotein. It is sometimes called bad cholesterol because a high LDL level leads to the buildup of plaque in your arteries. And like I said before, this leads to atherosclerosis. Okay? VLDL and LDL are different. VLDL mainly, and that's very low, okay, VL. That's what the V stands for, V, very, very low. Very low DL mainly carries triglycerides, and LDL mainly carries cholesterol. Okay, so triglycerides are the main constituents of natural fats and oils, and high concentrations in the blood indicate an elevated risk of stroke. Triglycerides are the main constituents of natural fats and oils, and high concentrations in the blood. High concentrations of triglycerides in the blood indicate an elevated risk of stroke. All right, so very low density lipoprotein. Some people call it bad cholesterol because it also contributes to the buildup of plaque in your arteries. All right, and then we have total cholesterol, and that is the combined amount of low density lipoprotein, cholesterol, and high density lipoprotein, cholesterol in the blood, the combination of low and high. So, for a moment, Luan, how are you? Elsa, what's going on, family? John Baptiste, what's going on? Mr. V. So, just for a moment, let's take a look at the ranges for total cholesterol in adults. Normal cholesterol level is less than 200 milligrams per deciliter. Borderline high is 200 to 239 milligrams per deciliter. High is at or above 240 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, and that's a unit of measurement that is used to show the concentration of a substance in a specific amount of fluid. Okay. Let's look at some causes of bad cholesterol, of LDL. Low density lipoprotein. All right. I I cannot state enough. I really can't, and I will keep pushing it. I can't state enough the importance of healthy eating habits, brothers and sisters. Healthy eating habits. There's no way I could say that enough. I'm gonna keep saying it until we get it, until we get to with the program and do it, because that is what it takes. Discipline. Causes of high cholesterol. Unhealthy eating habits, such as eating a lot of bad fats, like saturated fat, which is found in some meats, dairy products, milk chocolate, baked goods, and deep fried and processed foods. Then we have trans fat, which is in some fried and processed foods. Eating these fats can raise your LDL. It can raise your LDL, your low density lipoprotein, which is the bad cholesterol. Especially processed meats, such as sausages or hamburgers, hot dogs, etc. All right. My sister Jamazin, how are you? Okay. Lack of physical exercise or activity, especially a sedentary lifestyle. If you live or practice a sedentary lifestyle, first of all, your pelvic floor is going to suffer in the first place. Your pelvic floor is just going to get jacked up. If you're a guy, that's too much pressure on your prostate starts to swell in the first place. So you have to keep moving. That sedentary lifestyle has to go away. You got to get rid of that. You got to keep moving. So a sedentary lifestyle lowers your HDL, or your good cholesterol. Smoking lowers your HDL cholesterol, especially in women. It also raises your LDL cholesterol. Stress and hormones, the physiologic hormone called cortisol, for example, increases LDL cholesterol level. So if you have large deposits of plaque in your arteries, an area of plaque can rupture, all right? And this can cause a blood clot to form on the surface of the plaque. So if the clot becomes large enough, it can mostly or completely block blood flow in a coronary artery and cause coronary artery disease, which you do not want. If the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your heart muscles or to your heart muscle is reduced or blocked, it can cause angina. Angina is chest pain, or it can cause a heart attack. Can cause a heart attack to happen to you. Okay, when you have that chest discomfort or shortness of breath, okay, that's basically when the heart muscles receive insufficient oxygen-rich blood. And you can prevent that by, you get it, staying active, do your push-ups, do your sit-ups, do your pull-ups, jog a little bit, walk more, do breathing exercises. Your body needs that. That's what keeps your body going. I don't care how new or how beautiful or how immaculate your car is. You leave your car sitting in the garage or in the driveway, and you don't start it for a while. You just let it sit there and you don't start it. What happens? Tell me what happens. Some of you are probably mechanics or know something about cars. After a while, the parts just don't work the way they're supposed to, because it depends, the proficiency or the efficiency of a car depends on the movement of the parts underneath the hood. It has to be moving. The parts got to move for that car to work properly. So you don't crank up that engine every now and then. One day you go to crank it up, it may never start. The battery may die, but that's part of the whole process. If you don't keep it active, it's like your body. Your body needs movement. When you wake up in the morning, you need to go to the toilet. You need to free up. You got to let all that gunk out. Your body needs that. You got to keep moving, people. Okay, so there's a book that I'm reading. It's called Nutrition and Healing. And I'm going to read a section here in chapter 4 of that book. And let's see. While it is true, listen well, while it is true that around 25% of the cholesterol in your body comes from the food you eat, a whopping 75% of your cholesterol profile comes from your own liver. It comes from your own liver. And your liver is making those cholesterol molecules in order for your body to perform major and crucial life functions. To make the sex hormones, testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen, as well as the stress hormone cortisol, your body takes cholesterol from your liver and turns it into a hormone called pregnenolone. Pregnenolone is then converted into progesterone, which eventually becomes cortisol, testosterone, and estrogen. All right? That process is known as the steroid pathway. So, listen to this. Both LDL and total cholesterol levels naturally rise in women as they enter menopause. A study in 209 followed about 1,000 women for 10 years and found that their total and LDL cholesterol dramatically rose starting a year before stopping menstruation. This sudden spike happens for a reason. All right? Continues to say, there's really no mystery here. A woman's cholesterol spikes so dramatically at menopause because as her ovaries start to slow down on sex hormone production, her body begins to crave more of the hormones. As her levels of estrogen and testosterone drop, her body starts to churn out more of the cholesterol it needs to make more of them so it can help stave off aging. When we introduce heavy-duty statin drugs, we kick off a demented game of tug-of-war with the master of our hormones, the pituitary gland. As the gland attempts to orchestrate the production of more cholesterol to make more hormones, the statins put the brakes on cholesterol production in our liver. And it is really no wonder that we see so many side effects from statins when the body is being subjected to this constant push and pull. And we are, no doubt, fast forwarding the aging process in countless women as a result. Even worse, low testosterone has been linked to heart problems, which means that by artificially lowering men's cholesterol to bargain basement lows, we're likely threatening their heart health along with accelerating the aging process as well. It is pretty obvious that statins are robbing us of the precious resources our bodies need to create the hormones that help keep us young. As a result, countless men and women are being left hormone deficient with weak muscles, mushy memories, and feeling old before their time. You guys see what we up against? So there is a blood test to measure your cholesterol level, man. You know, and when and how often you should do it depends on your age and risk factors, you know, family history and stuff like that. So the general recommendations look like this. At age 19 or younger, and those are general recommendations, all right? 19 years or younger, the first blood test should be between ages 9 to 11. Check on your cholesterol. You got to check your cholesterol levels. You have to do it, okay? You need to do it. Children should have the test again every 5 years. And some children may have this test starting at age 2 if there is a family history of high blood cholesterol, heart attack, and stroke. And those are general recommendations, all right? Age 20 or older. Younger adults should have the test every 5 years. Men, ages 45 to 65, and women, ages 55 to 65, should have it every 1 to 2 years. So, I do a complete blood work every single year, non-stop. Every single year, it's a given for me. Complete blood work. I need to know where I'm at. I need to know where I'm standing. I need to know what's going on. I don't have the means to check my blood, to do my blood work. I don't. I have to go to a professional. And they know how to do it. I go and I get it done every year. I'm going to make sure that when I'm doing my backflips, my jump side kicks, and my spin jump kicks and everything, and I'm working out, I need to know my cholesterol level. I need to know my oxygen level. I need to know all of that. Getting your cholesterol levels checked is an important part of staying healthy. It is an important part of staying healthy. High cholesterol increases your risk of heart disease and stroke. All right? So we're still working with part 1 here. We're going to do part 2 and part 3. And just to let you know again, I like to Give out my disclaimer that I'm not a doctor. I'm an herbalist, holistic health educator, and a researcher. I do not prescribe medicine, nor do I give medical advice. My work is strictly educational, all right, and informational. That's it. Some foods to help lower your cholesterol. Oats. Oats contain a substance that actually absorbs LDL cholesterol. Beets. Beets are loaded with phytochemicals, man. Loaded with phytochemicals, which combat free radical damage and help to keep the arteries flexible, thereby preventing them from becoming backed up with cholesterol. All right, John Edwards, what's going on? Belle, what's up? Irma, bless up, bless up. Annie, how are you? Mary, shout out to you guys. Red wine. Oh, geez. I just bought 2 bottles of red wine like a week ago. I'm down to 1 bottle. I love red wine. It helps. Red wine calms the nerve, man. And for my guys, red wine actually is good for your swollen prostate, man. Red wine is excellent. It's good to keep the swelling down. All right. If you have swollen prostate, man, red wine, you got to do red wine. It calms the nerves, but it can also help to improve your health. In particular, it can help lower your cholesterol levels. You drinking some right now? What's up, Jay Breezy? What's going on, bro? Judith, you got to save me a glass of red wine. I have 1 bottle, but if you're drinking right now, I'll come get it. Salmon. Who likes salmon? Salmon is high in omega-3 fatty acids, guys, and it has been found to increase good cholesterol levels. Almonds, zaman, if you're from Dominica, Haiti, St. Lucia, zaman, you know what zaman. All right, it's a great source of both polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, which are good for your overall health, by the way. All right, they also offer a nice amount of fiber. Oh, yes. Almonds, a lot of fiber, antioxidant, flavonoids, compounds that help to improve the health of the arteries and lower inflammation. Avocado. Avocado is awesome. It is one of those fruits that contains the best source of monounsaturated fat. Monounsaturated fat. And that type of fat is good for the health of your heart. Monounsaturated fat. Great for your heart. Avocados, the fat in avocado, it helps to raise the good cholesterol while lowering the bad cholesterol. So it has dual action, you know what I mean? It raises the good vibe and it lowers the bad vibe. So the frequency is just airy, you know? The vibration is just really level. Avocados also offer a high amount of soluble fiber, phytochemicals, folate, niacin, potassium, and omega-3 fatty acids. All right, guys. So this is part 1 of cholesterol. Next week, we are going to look at part 2. And the following week, we'll jump into part 3 and complete the whole session. All right. Thank you guys for joining. I will announce part 2. And remember, your health is your responsibility. All right? No one else's. That's yours. I will see you guys next week for part 2. All right? Be blessed, guys. Give thanks for tuning in.